What up, everybody? Illegitimate here. Just gonna record a little Limit Omaha two-tabling video. Um, Sitting on this table on the right, I've been playing. Limit is pretty. He plays a lot multi-tabling, probably 6 or 7 tabling more, maybe, and he seems kind of bad-ish to me and spewy. So we got position on him here. This guy is also a somewhat regular. Alex is a regular, and then these two I don't really recognize. Double suited hand, but the suits are not that good out of position. This is probably a fold. It's kind of close. I'm gonna call. The king and the queen are our suits, so they're high enough. It's calling's okay, or occasionally three betting the hand. Folding out of position is not terrible. And we flop the world, so this is beautiful. I want to lead here because I want value. I don't want to check raise. I think he folds too many hands when I check raise here. If he has 9-7 or anything like a decent draw, I just want him to. I don't want to check raise him off a pretty good hand, basically. Where if I lead, he'll just call, hopefully. Or if I check raise, it looks a lot stronger. It's a pretty terrible card. I doubt he has a set per se, so I'm kind of tempted to value bet again. But if I do, it's basically a bet call situation where it's kind of hard to get called by worse. But I want to get value from 9-7 is what I want to do. But it puts me in a tough spot if I bet. And if I check, I pretty much have to call because it's fairly unlikely he has a set. But it's pretty likely he has 9-7. I'm gonna bet call because I'm priced in once he shoves. Even though if he does shove, it's like 90% likely we're beat. So I could even bet fold. I chose to bet because all the draw. If he put me on a drawy hand, I can get called. And we chop it. He flopped the nuts and played it really slow, which in the situation he was in was a good decision because I had a ton of redraws against him. I was pretty sick. I didn't hit any of my redraws, and I also had a chance to bluff him off the best hand on the river. I mean, bluff him off a chop. This is not a great double suited hand, but on the button you're going to be opening a ton of hands, so open this as well. That was kind of a sick hand that we didn't hit any of our redraws and that he didn't fold the river. Although our hand doesn't really look too much like a set. I'm gonna c-bet this flop for sure. It's an interesting card. Now, there's not a lot he's gonna fold if he pilled with an ace, obviously, which is this board is not really draw heavy, so he most likely has an ace. If he doesn't, there's a decent chance we're good. I'm just gonna check and probably fold the river. There's lots of hands he'll value bet on the river, and he'll pretty rarely bluff the river. There's not too much he can have to be bluffing, so I'm just gonna fold. I played a 100 table over here because all the 200 tables were full except for this one. So, okay, I don't recognize this guy, but he posted in the cutoff, so it's probably not a very good player, or a serious player, I should say. I could be wrong though. Could be a genius for all I know. He said you made my move, which means which leads me to believe he's a somewhat sophisticated player, thinking he was going to try to bluff off a chop on a board pair river, trying to represent a set. So I'm going to make a note on him, thinking player at least. And he also just flatted the nuts twice, which is interesting. Definitely, this is a connected hand with the suited ace. I'm going to raise it even under the gun. Raised queen 9xx ODB, just called lead on jack. I don't flop a ton here, but this I flop a what's that? Just an 8 card straight draw, but it's enough to c bet and then reevaluate. If I get raised, I pretty much have to fold. What do I have? A 4 or a 9 for the nuts? Yeah. Okay, definite open here. Yeah, I'm gonna make a note on this guy. Raise Queen 9 XXODB, just called lead on Jack 10 8 2 spade, just called on turn, tank called, oops, tank called board pair, board pair river. Okay, we got a low connected hand. If this hand, it's a pretty terrible hand. If anyone raises, I throw that hand away. But if the ace is suited rather than the 4, then I'll play it sometimes, though generally not out of position. Limony, as we, let me start my HUD for a second. Hold on just a sec. Sorry. Okay. I thought I had all this going, but I guess not. Alright. Yeah. HUD's very useful. I know that he runs, just from memory, I know he runs like 40, 44, 30, so he's like hyper aggressive, at least pre-flop. Though, and like I said, he seems pretty spewy, but he's definitely competent at least. This is a good hand, obviously. We got kings, connectedness, and a suit. Double suited hands are tempting, but even in position, this kind of hand where it's connected on top and bottom, it doesn't have a ton of value. Okay, definitely bet this flop. We got backdoors, we got a blocker against top set, we got a overpair, obviously. Not a lot of draws. The best draw is 8, 9, 10, which is only like a 9 card straight draw. So you can just bet that for sure. Where is my poker tracker? Must be running, but I don't see it. It's kind of strange. My poker tracker Omaha. I mean, it's running because I see the stats right here. Oh, that sucks. The way my my HUD is set up is that well, actually, I think it's just a glitch with poker tracker, but on the 50 big blind minimum tables, the HUD doesn't show up. It only shows up on the regular non-50 big blind minimum tables. I've talked to their support about it, and I've never really got a solid answer as to why that's the case, but it's annoying, and so I'm basically HUDless over here. But I have notes on all these guys, so, or most of them, not this guy, but these two regulars, so I'm not totally readless. Okay, that's garbage over there. Fold it. And it looks like this guy's a short stacking spewy, like lag, most likely, from his stats and from his stack size. It's a terrible hand. Fold the small blind even. I would have flopped a pair and an open ender though. Goodness gracious me. Wow. Wow. Looks like this guy had a set, but if he did, calling the turn's pretty terrible with the set. To call, there's not too many hands that are good. Basically, I know this guy's bad because there's no hand with it you should call a full pot size bet with on the turn and then fold on the river, essentially. If you had a flush that might be good, then you should just, but you don't think it is, you should fold the turn. If you do think it's good, then you should call the turn, but also call the river. And if you have a set, you should just fold because you're not getting the right odds to fill up. So yeah, so whatever he had was he played the hand badly. So we'll make a note. Seems terrible. Set over here, a little bit of a cooler, especially on this guy's stack size.